really seeing revenue growth on the business. But, where we see real opportunity is in the clinics that we acquired, just improving workflows and getting them more efficient.
Apiam Animal Health Limited on the Australian Stock Exchange, AHX, is a leading veterinary business with 80 clinics around Australia. And joining me right now is Managing Director, Dr. Chris Richards. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Tim.
Thanks for coming on today. Let's talk about some interesting developments with the company. You've gone through a period of time where you've made a lot of acquisitions, and now you're seeing some fundamental bottom line growth as a result of that consolidation. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. So, over the COVID period and the couple of years that followed that, we acquired about 30 veterinary clinics. And so we made the decision last year to put a stop to the acquisitions and really focus on unlocking the value that was in those clinics that we had acquired over that period. We've been doing that now for the last 12 months, and the half-year results that we've put out are really starting to show some early signs of the benefits that we've got in that clinic portfolio.
Talking about the portfolio, you've got a very mixed business. Pigs, horses, cows, and pets. But what's happening with the feedlot industry? That's taking a bit of a bounce back.
Yeah, that's right. So, we've certainly got some tailwinds in the feedlot industry at the moment and in our business. And, we provide the veterinary services and products to a large part of that industry. That industry is, has the last couple of years been starting to rebound from a period when the agriculture areas had plenty of grass and there were less cattle going into feedlots. But what's happening now is that we're seeing more cattle come into those feedlots, and a lot of that's being driven by the export market. So, as you're probably aware, that the US is going through a drought, and their beef cattle levels have depleted significantly, and as a result, that's really provided an export opportunity for Australian feedlots.
Now, you've got a great, a great company with a huge resource, really. You've got thousands of people working under the Apiam banner. And now, with no real need to do further acquisitions, your focus is now on making the best economy of those and getting the synergy of getting them working together. Where would you see the key growth areas are for the company over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, it's really within the existing clinic portfolio, and it's not just increasing revenue through some of our initiatives, our service programs in our companion side, through our Best Mates program, which is a wellness program or subscription program. We had 20% of growth in those numbers since September of last year, and so we're really trying to expand that across all those clinics that we acquired over that period. On the other side of the business, in our livestock side, we've got new services that we've been launching, as well as new products and technologies that are coming to market, or that we have been rolling out over the last 6 months. So, really seeing revenue growth on the business. But, where we see real opportunity is in the clinics that we acquired, just improving workflows and getting them more efficient. And so, and what that really is about is getting those low and medium performing clinics to be performing at the same earnings metrics as what our high performance clinics are.
Talking of earnings metrics, you've got plenty of scope for improvement as that synergy happens over the next period. So tell us about that balance sheet, which is a critical part for a smaller cap company. Your financials are very organised, and the projections are terrific. And it beggars belief why investors don't make that connection with the expansion of the business. Please talk about the financials and where they're headed.
Yeah, so for what we've been doing in the last 12 months, we're starting to see early signs of a real transformation for the company. So, if we look at our first half, 11% of our, 11% revenue growth. Some of that was driven by acquisitions, but we're also seeing, growth across our segments. But what's really important and that, really pleasing to see is that we're seeing gross margin improvement, and that's because we're really capturing all the value within the clinics. From an operating expense, we actually had a 2% reduction in our like-for-like operating expense in the first half compared to the prior year. Some of that's because we took a lot of head office costs out of the business as we moved away from the acquisition program. But we're also seeing some other efficiencies within the business, and a result of that, in the first half, we had a 32.7% increase in our underlying EBITDA compared to last year, and our reported NPAT was up 13.3% on the previous year, despite an additional $1 million in finance costs. So we're really starting to see some really positive early signs of what the potential of the business is if we can get all of our clinics operating at the same level as those high performance clinics.
In terms of the company's performance and the financial level, those strong projections and earnings are now creating the opportunity for the company to issue a dividend. Please tell us about that.
No, that's right. So we ceased our dividend when we're in a position where we could see there's going to be far more value in that cash to do acquisitions, and but now that we've wound back that acquisition program, the board has started to reissue an initial interim dividend, which was 1 cent per share. So it's certainly welcomed by shareholders.
Absolutely, returning on their investment while they're waiting for a bonanza, and all the directors participated recently. That's
right. So yeah, all the directors participated in the dividend reinvestment plan that we have in place. It wasn't at a discount at all, so they've reinvested at market price.
Wow. I've been speaking with Dr. Chris Richards, who's the Managing Director for Apiam Animal Health on the Australian Stock Exchange, AHX. A very undervalued in terms of the market compared to the physical asset. Chris, thanks very much for joining us today.
No worries. Thanks, Tim.